You're a man of action. You live life to the fullest, embrace your fears, and boldly chart your own path. When life knocks you down, you get back up one more time, every time. You are not easily deterred or defeated. Rugged, resilient, strong. This is your life. This is who you are. This is who you will become. At the end of the day, and after all is said and done, you can call yourself a man.
Gentlemen, what is going on today? My name is Ryan Mickler, and I am the host and founder of this podcast and this movement, The Order of Man. Guys, my job is to find the most interesting, the most successful men that I can find. I interview these guys, I extract their wisdom, their lessons, their experiences, and then I'm delivering them straight to you. Now, if you've been with us for any amount of time, you probably already knew that. But if not, welcome to what I consider, and I think millions of other men will probably consider this as well, the best podcast available for men today. Now, I know I'm a bit biased, but that's why we have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of men all over the country, all over the planet, tuning in, listening in, applying what they're learning. And I get messages from you guys every single day. I'm motivated, I'm humbled, I'm inspired by the messages that I'm receiving and how you guys are improving your lives. It's certainly helped me improve my life. So I want to thank you for that. Guys, I don't have a whole lot of announcements today. I will say that we've got a FatherSon event. This is called the Order of Man Legacy event. It's going to be held on September 20th through the 23rd. We're securing right now the venue, and we're getting some websites set up where you can go ahead and register for that. We're going to have very, very limited spots, 20 spots available. But as this becomes available for you guys, I will let you know, which should be next week sometime. So stay tuned, get on the radar so you know if you are interested in this very first father and son event that we're going to be doing for Order of Man. Again, that's going to be called Legacy, and go ahead and mark your calendars right now for September 20th through the 23rd, 2018. And outside of that, you may be interested in checking out our brotherhood, the Iron Council. This is a band of brothers. It's 380 other men who have banded together, who have said, I want to become a better man. I want to lose weight. I want to make more money. I want to start a business. I want to lead my family. I want to lead my community. I want to be a better father or a husband or whatever. I don't know what your thing is. I don't know what your goal is. But whatever that goal is, we've got some frameworks, some foundations, some blueprints, and of course, the platform and accountability to help you take your life to the next level, to help you achieve whatever it is that you're after. And if you don't know what you're after, we can help you there too. If you know there's more out of life, you just don't know what it is, we can help you identify what that is for you specifically, and then help you achieve it. Again, that's called the Iron Council, and you can learn more at orderofman.com/Iron Council. So that's it, guys. Order of Man Legacy, the Iron Council. Those are the only announcements I had today. With that said, this is our Friday Field Notes. I told you a minute ago we interview very, very successful men, but on Friday you listen to me, whether you like to or not. All right, so what I'm going to talk with you about today is very, very important. Something that I haven't done for most of my life, but over the past 5 years, I have become an avid reader. Now, today I want to talk with you about the power of reading and a little bit of the challenge that I'm going to be issuing you. A couple of days on Instagram, I issued a challenge. This is our Order of Man Readathon. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it, but if you go to my Instagram profile, Instagram.com/Ryan Mickler, or just at Ryan Mickler, and my last name is spelled Michler, you can learn a little bit more about what we're doing, but I will tell you more about it towards the end of the podcast. Now, look, guys, some of the greatest men the world has ever known are voracious readers. Teddy Roosevelt, for example, was said to have read a book every single morning. General James Mattis is said to have a library of over 600 books. Bill Gates reads a book a week. Mark Cuban reads for 3 hours every single day. Elon Musk, I like this. Elon Musk was once asked how he learned to build rockets, to which he replied, I read books. Now, I'm not suggesting that by simply consuming this information, by reading books, that you will achieve the type of results that these men have achieved, but reading and acquiring new knowledge through the written word is something that, from my perspective, seems to be very common throughout most, if not all, successful people. So today, I want to share with you why I think that is. And then again, I'm also going to be issuing you a challenge that we're going to be holding over the next 30 days. So let's break this down. Number one, readers are rational. Now, you guys know as well as I do that more and more people are completely irrational when it comes to their ideas about how the world works and how they operate and how they view the world. We base our beliefs and our decisions on how we feel and our opinions rather than objective truth. And I know there's a place and time for that, but there's also a place and time for rational behavior and objective truth. And readers, by the very action of them reading, they expose themselves to new thoughts and new ideas, which naturally triggers the ability to think differently about your previously held beliefs. Rather than spending so much time and energy trying to defend their current ideas, they are in constant search of new ideas. And through the nature of exploring those ideas, they do one of two things. They either solidify their current beliefs or they find new, more effective ones to replace them. So number one, readers are rational. Number two, readers have a very wide perspective. Because let's face it, we all live in a box. And that box is the box that you create, that I create, that each man individually creates for himself. And I know that I'm more guilty of this than just about anybody else. I see the world through my lens. I typically jump to the conclusion that it must be the only way in which people, quote unquote, should operate. I understand this about myself, and I am in a constant journey towards expanding my horizons. And I really want to strive to see the world from a new perspective. And that idea, that thought, in turn, it allows me to be more empathetic to others and see the world I had previously closed myself off to. This does a couple of things. First, I feel like I'm much more capable of connecting with other people when I see that they may actually look at the world differently than I do. And connection is a huge part of being a man. It makes us more influential, which allows us to lead. And that's part of what it means to be a man, to lead more effectively. Second, it allows me to hold more conviction in my own way of looking at things. Think about a defense attorney, for example. Sure, his job is to come up with an effective defense strategy, but a large part of that is putting himself in the position, giving himself a new perspective of the prosecution so that he can adequately prepare himself for the opposition, for what he might face. And that's why having this wide perspective is so critical. Just part of the reason it's so critical. Next, readers are creative. And creativity is one of the most powerful forces for success. I'm sure you guys have heard this. I've heard this over and over again. It's been said that there are no new ideas, only old ideas repackaged, repurposed. They're connected differently. And if that's true, the best way to create different results is to expose yourself to new information that you had not previously been privy to or been aware of. And I'll admit that I don't read a lot of fiction, but I'm always surprised that when I do, I find parallels to my life and the problems that I see that I have not previously seen or previously thought of. As men, guys, we are problem-solving machines, and our ability to think creatively about the problems that we see, the problems we identify, and of course the solutions to those problems literally spells the difference between failure and success in a lot of aspects of our lives. Next, readers have the ability to focus. This is a fast-paced world we live in. We have technology and we have so many different things on a daily basis. We would all do well to learn how to focus on one thing at a time and do this focus thing just a little bit more effectively. Most of us have heard what has been dubbed that bright, shiny object syndrome. It's a little bit like a dog when he sees a squirrel, right? He sees a squirrel and whatever he was doing doesn't matter anymore because now he's after that squirrel. We get excited about something. Then we see something more appealing, temporarily more appealing, and we forget all about the thing that we were excited about just 24 hours ago. The skill of focus it's a very translatable skill. It's going to help you be a more successful husband, father, business owner, coach, friend, neighbor, employee, whatever it is that you're after and whatever role that you participate in on a daily basis. And the only way to become more focused is to practice focus. That's the only way to do it. It's like strength. The only way to become stronger is to build your strength through lifting heavy things and lifting weights and doing those sorts of things. And so this is why I like to read physical books. Now, I know some guys out there might prefer digital books, and other people say that listening to books is just as good. I disagree with that. I know there's a time and a place for that. If you have to get through information quickly, I think reading books is great. You can get through a lot of information. It may be effective in acquiring that information, but that's not the only reason that you want to read. To me, reading is, in a way, a form of meditation. It forces me to sit still for longer periods of time and focus on just one thing, the message, whatever that message is of the book, just one thing at a time. The more that I read, the more focused I can be for long and sustained periods of time. All right, guys, next, readers communicate ideas well. Our ability to communicate and to articulate our ideas it's paramount to the success of those ideas. I've met people with incredible ideas and absolutely no ability to share those ideas successfully. And on the other hand, I've heard some incredibly horrible ideas and seen the men who present them have such an ability to communicate well that those horrible ideas take off, at least temporarily. So having a good idea is important, but without the ability to communicate those ideas well, you're dead in the water. And as with anything, if you want to be successful at something, just find somebody who is succeeding in that area and replicate that. Do what they do. You know, we have the ability through books to tap into the minds of the most successful communicators the world has ever known. Guys like Winston Churchill and Teddy Roosevelt, Martin Luther King Jr., Socrates, Billy Graham, who recently passed away, Ronald Reagan, Abe Lincoln. I mean, these are just to name a few. Guys, read their works, pore over their words, learn and study and ponder on how they articulated those ideas, and then put that into practice, and you too will become a great communicator. Next, guys, readers recover through the practice of reading. Reading is relaxing, guys. Bottom line, it's relaxing. We live in a world where it's constantly go, 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 go. I know this because I pride myself on being a high-achieving man. And I'm sure you do as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here trying to learn how to be a better man. So if you're anything like me, you have the desire and feel the need to be doing something constantly. But reading is something. There's value in stopping. There's value in slowing down from time to time. If you're constantly redlining, you are going to burn out. And I've been there. I've burned up my engine. You have to relax from time to time. You have to recharge and refuel. You have to be able to shut it down now and again. And reading has been a great way for me to do just that. So at a minimum, I'm trying to get anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour of reading every single day. And the last point that I wanted to share with you is that readers are informed. There is so much information out there in the world through the use of social media, magazines, books, movies, TV, whatever. We have access to information unlike we have ever known. It is amazing how much information we can consume, and I think that it's critical that we do. We need to be careful not to overconsume and never put into practice what we've discovered, but how much more powerful could we be if we could discuss ideas from a position of understanding rather than ignorance? I can't tell you how many conversations I've got into with people who just don't know what they're talking about. If you don't know something, Google it. Read about it, get some information on the subject. Being informed, I think, is one of the most powerful ways to build influence. One of the people, for example, that I admire most when it comes to being informed is Joe Rogan. I mean, it is amazing to me how much he knows about a huge range of topics. And when I listen to him talk with a guest on his podcast, I'm always blown away with his understanding of topics that I know nothing about and things that I would think he would know nothing about, but he does. And that's just one example of someone who is obviously well-researched, and it's no wonder, guys, that his podcast is one of the largest podcasts in the world. So there you have it. Readers are rational, have a wide perspective, they're creative, have the ability to focus, they communicate their ideas well, they recover efficiently, and lastly, they are informed. Of course, there's so much more to it than that, but if that doesn't convince you to read more, I don't know what will. So that said, guys, I mentioned this earlier in the podcast. We are in the middle of our Order of Man readathon right now. If you head to my Instagram profile, again, it's at Ryan Michler, so it's Ryan, and my last name is Michler, so at Ryan Michler. You can see what we're up to until May 24th, 2018. What I'd like you to do is post a book that you've completed between now and then and use the hashtag OOM Readathon. OOM Readathon is an Order of Man readathon. Make sure you tag me too, again, at Ryan Michler, and you will be automatically entered in to receive a book bundle that I'm going to be giving away at the end of May 2018. And the more people you tag during our readathon, the more chances you'll have to win the book bundle that I'm going to be giving away. Again, go to @RyanMichler, last name is spelled Michler, post a book as you finish it for the next 30 days, use the hashtag OOMReadathon, and then tag your friends for our book giveaway. So gentlemen, there you have it. That's all I've got for you today. Make sure you get reading, post the books that you're reading, tag me, use the hashtag, and let's see how many books that we can compile and as a movement, as the order complete for the next 30 days. Until next week, guys, read those books, take action, and become the man you are meant to be.
Thank you for listening to the Order of Man podcast. If you're ready to take charge of your life and be more of the man you were meant to be, we invite you to join the Order at orderofman.com.